This episode is made possible by PwC. Hear that? That's the tax landscape changing. More complexity, more tech, more modernization. You need better data, better connectivity, better operations. At PwC, we're ready for what's next. Are you? Elevate tax. Multiply value with PwC. This episode is made possible by PwC. Bottom line, what you're doing today isn't going to get you where you need to go tomorrow. It's time to see ahead and get ahead. Find ways to grow and new ways to make money. Reinvent your business model and meet the future with PwC. Find out more at pwc.com.
Taking your own life with boredom, I'm taking my own life with wine. It helps you to rule out the sorrow. It helps me to empty my mind. Making the most of
Hit record.
Now you're supposed to do the intro.
Okay. Look, I hit it. Well, 3, 2, 1. All right, here I go. Here I go, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Archon's Corner. I'm Drazkor, kicking off the show, and we have with us today, working on his 7th postdoc of the year, Dr. Sheep. Say hello, Dr. Sheep.
Hello.
Excellent. And he's not going to issue a hall pass until you finish your math assignment, Ewok Jr.
Hello, Keyforge community. Glad to be with you, Sadkor.
Sadkor. There you go. But no, I'm not sad today. Although I guess I'm a little sad because no Wookiee. Wookiee,
he is
Wookiee
on
left us out. Cool.
Yeah, he is on location in Minnesota, and he has left us. And we're really looking forward to this top 5 /
the
8,
complaining
9. Yeah, and we did add to it, Wookiee, while you're gone. So there you go. But we figured probably he might be sad if we left him out.
I think he would be very upset if we recorded a full complain episode and he wasn't able to complain on it. I think he'd be distraught.
I mean, I do think that is his superhero power to be able to complain. So we should probably include him. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Meh.
For you, bud.
A man of with so many words there, Sheep. I really do wish I had the ba. I need to get these actions going. We were playing with some sound bits ahead of time.
You were playing with some sound bits.
Draz, you were also in this. Okay.
I was, but I am very happy that there are no soundboards directly in this channel for all of our listeners' ears. But we've got an ABR update. So exciting news. Sheep and Drazkor are in the playoffs. Took the top seat. And going up against, what are the other teams in the playoff, Sheep? Do you know? Actually, I didn't even check.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
What amazing captain you are. Let me go ahead and...
All I care about is my team. And we are in first place for now, which is awesome.
So, I mean, this is one of the
Hungry
strategies.
Hippogriffs. Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
Are
I was gonna
second
say,
place.
One of the strategies is just don't worry about anyone else. Be the meta. You just worry about your team, Draz, and say, we got this.
Exactly.
Right, but
Some people are like...
Who else is there?
Yeah, we've got the Hungry Hippogriffs in second place. Congratulations. We've got the Wrecking Thralls in third place. And then in fourth place, Redline Aviation. So, got some great players on all those teams. So it'll be exciting set of playoffs. We've got all the, expected formats. I guess just let's see here. So I'll run through them real quick. Archon, of course, Alliance. Yep. Sealed, both Alliance and Solo or True. You've got Triad, Adaptive. Then you've got the 60 SAS cap. Okay. You've got an 80 SAS floor reversal, which some people are excited about. I don't know if I would be into that, but it's got enough excitement going on. There's an Amber Skies only Archon, and then we've got Tridaptive. So Tridaptive is Triad, but you're playing a best of one adaptive each time. So it's
Having to
it's all
play
right. It's a little,
two different best of one adaptive games. It was not for me.
yeah. As a change it up jank thing, I thought it was interesting.
A single game of best one of adaptive is all a sheep can tolerate.
All you can stomach. Yeah.
I almost got stuck with regular adaptive by not picking a format for the finals.
Oh, that would have been.
Sounds like a sheep move there.
That sounds like I guess we're just losing one round.
I did offer, as captain, I offered, hey, anybody wants to switch, go ahead and switch.
We would have been
nobody
switching had
did.
somehow you guys thought you were going to stick me with adaptive, because that was that's like my only rule coming into an ABR thing is like, you cannot put me on adaptive.
I did see you posted, but nobody wants to play adaptive. They want to trade players at this point in the season.
Yeah.
And of course, the sloppy guys were raising their hands, like, oh yeah, because they're all the sloppy lab work guys are on the same team, so of course they're all fighting for adapt.
Did we not just beat that team in Try Adaptive Week?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
There you go. Hell yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
I was not part of the winning side here. I got adapted. It was awful.
It was very close. But we did manage to take it down and lock ourselves in first place. So pretty cool.
Well drafted, boss.
Yeah. So if you hear nothing more about ABR for the next few episodes, it's because we got absolutely destroyed in the playoffs after talking ourselves up so hard.
Well, then we will become the choke goer.
There you go. Yep. We've also got, as of this recording, it is not this weekend, but next weekend. So the first weekend in February, we've got Neko. And that's not the Wafer. That's the Northeast Keyforge Open. And so it's taking place not terribly far from where I am in the Philadelphia suburbs, although the far suburbs. And so there's still an opportunity to get yourself some tickets, show up. We've got events on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a great time. A bunch of folks coming in already. And we'll play Keyforge during the day. I've got a few spots picked out for us to tip some cows in the evening. And it'll be a great experience. It'll be a good time. Come on down.
Will you be writing up a review of comparative cow tipping between there and Chicago?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. I'll compare and contrast the spotted bovine to the solid heifers.
Always the interesting topics that we have here, man.
All right, who put in why I suck at Keyforge? Who's doing that?
Well, so we do have some actual Keyforge, and Sheep and I played this week. It was actually a really nice group. We had 4 friends come out to our locals. So it was very, very cold. Actually, schools were shut down in Wisconsin because of that polar vortex that swung by. But it didn't stop us from playing some Keyforge. But I have this week's why I suck at Keyforge. So after going ahead and taking 2 games, I faced Sheep, who had gone 0-2.
0-2.
And,
Yes.
0-2, that's right.
Resoundingly 0-2.
Resoundingly 0-2. But both of us are playing some beautiful, beautiful Amber Skies, and I call about middle-ish of the game. I go ahead and play Ezra Pause. So play after reveal your opponent's hand, draw a card. So I look at Sheep's hand. I happen to be at 5 Amber. I was planning on destroying the creature that had been absorbing my amber on the other side. There was 3 of it there. And I see that Sheep had a red line rotation. And he had some other cards. That being the important part. And so my only C in my sweet Amber Skies deck is a Neutron Shark. I've built up some nice warded creatures on my Skyborn. And I proceed to go ahead and pop those wards. And then Sheep laughs maniacally. Go ahead, Sheep. You got the maniacal.
I think I might have giggled.
Okay, you did have a little schoolgirl giggle. Because he had been like freaking out because he also had Amber Skies and had no way to go ahead and really get around my wards. And the card that I missed was De-Escalation.
Yes.
And so after I went ahead and popped all of my sweet wards and had some nice captured amber on it, his problem went away. So, reading cards is important. Just a polite reminder to go ahead and do that, but also to pay attention when you actually can see your opponent's whole hand, even if it's casual. Actually pay attention to all of them. I read them. I still think that you pocketed. I don't know where that came from, but that one got me real good.
Being that I've been holding it since turn 2, because I had.
It's the only C that we had.
Yeah, it's the only C in my deck. And game 2, I had it in my opening hand and just had to discard it. And then, and I was playing against a Talk deck, and he purged it. So I had no C after that. I was holding that card. Plus, like we were talking about, is Ewok was blessed with one of the good ways you can land an enhancement, which is on an artifact. So he had an enhanced hologramophone into his Skyborn. So he kept playing Skyborn dudes and Warden Skyborn dudes. And then kept playing Skyborn dudes and Warding Skyborn dudes. And then he had one of those Chinooks or whatever, the guy who makes the flank creatures taunt and plus armor. So he's got taunts, he's got wards, and I was doing well because I had the guy who exalted flank creatures with amber. So I was building up amorous guys, but there was just no way for me to kill them because he had armor and wards, and I had, kind of crappy guys. It was tough. I was like trying to figure out how to play his De-Escalation. I was holding it, and then he kept playing creatures and warding them, and I'm like going, this De-Escalation hold was a bad choice. I should have just discarded it. And then Ewok played right into me, and I Codswalloped him, and it's great. So then he made me play again, and it turns out I whooped him again. So
nice.
My deck was well suited for beating up on his deck.
And by well suited, if you drop 4 creatures of a house and you don't have a response for that on the other side, that is a problem. A really, really big problem.
But I got beat by 2 not good Talk decks.
Yeah.
So,
they don't generate tokens.
Were they both Talks, or was one a Woe deck?
No. One was a Woe deck, and one was a
Woe deck. And my deck, my Amber Skies deck, had the kind of stuff you want. I had Time Traveler. I had the Nautilus. I had good cards in Logos, and then I had double red line rotation. So I'm like, it was awful. It was just an awful deck because it didn't have any ways to make the red lines really trigger. And
this episode is made possible by PwC. Hear that? That's the tax landscape changing. More complexity, more tech, more modernization. You need better data, better connectivity, better operations. At PwC, we're ready for what's next. Are you? Elevate tax. Multiply value with PwC. This episode is made possible by PwC. AI is here, and opportunity is everywhere. But while others only bring tech, PwC brings results. AI that sees what others don't. AI that scales responsibly and strategically. AI that goes from blueprint to breakthrough. AI that delivers. AI from PwC. Are you in?
Yeah. It feels like playing AOA sometimes. Like, if you don't get the broken stuff, it feels like playing typical AOA open decks. You either have no Amber control or no creature control, or maybe neither, and a bunch of creatures in Skyborn that don't do anything, because that's Skyborn.
Yeah. And I'll say
I feel like the big boys in Skyborn in a sealed environment can do better and can do more than some of just the random stuff in AOA.
I don't know. Typical Brobnar and Sanctum was pretty pointless.
It was, but
and
I'm saying
so is Skyborn.
Yeah, but there's less stun. There's less, the Chandler you mentioned. That's a pretty good card for sealed.
Yeah, no, Chandler and Nook is creature, Cirrus, Merchant, 3 power. Each friendly flank creature gets +2 armor and gains taunt. No, that was solid. But look at this deck. Now,
yeah, but you often get 3 Anooks, and then you're like, this sucks.
Nook suck.
All right, so Sheep and I did have Equidon, Logos, and Skyborn. We were both playing the same houses there. My deck was really just about Amber pips. I had 19 pips, and 12 of those coming in Equidon. But both games, apparently Equidon just doesn't want to show up against him, and that's fine. He'll just play creatures. But these are the creatures that I saw in Skyborn. Raiding Party, okay, I like it. I'm good with this. Double Indigo Hailard, okay, 5 power, not great. Yet Flip Stellar, Chandler, Bucks Bastion, Boston Green. Like, it's just when you look at that as your creatures, there are too many cards at this point in the game that do a lot more.
Way more.
And the value. And that's the thing, is there's just so much more value than what those creatures are giving.
Sure.
I mean, in Sealed, there's something you can play with. There was fun lines to be able to take. Actually, I thought Sheep's deck had some nice lines. Mine was, for the most part, pretty straightforward. But it was fun. But definitely read your cards, because if you don't, that's why I suck at Keyforge.
Or just put your eyeballs on what the card is, I guess, right?
No, like, I kid you not. Well, yes, I saw the red line rotation. I immediately saw that. But I actually read each of the other cards, and I did not, in my head, I did not see de-escalation there at all. And I'm like, all right, we're both limited on C. Yeah, let's pop this, because I need... The other part that went into this, I will say, is I was trying to handcraft 3 turns in a row. I had Skyborn, and I was trying to get out of 2/2/2. I'd play the 2, and then I'd draw back 2.
I don't know why he's complaining about that, because he played creatures, warded them, reaped with them, and then went back and went, oh, I guess I'll just reap with these guys again, play more creatures and ward more creatures. And I'm like over there swearing, I'm like, would you do something else besides draw more Skyborn? I think he had a great draw, and he just didn't know how to use it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Twice. Not once, but twice. No, but like when you're looking at it, just to be able to see, I was trying to draw out because my other 2 houses were the stronger houses. Skyborn came in at a measly 20 on this deck versus the Equidon, which was at 30, and the Logos at 27. So like afterwards, you look at it and you're like, no, I don't want to be in Skyborn. I'm trying to get out of Skyborn. But Sheep, I also know that I don't have any C outside of that amazing Neutron Shark, which frankly could stop almost immediately. And so looking at it, it's like, okay, I need to be able to get out of this house. I'm getting outboarded, and that was the problem. If I got outboarded, I knew I was in trouble in both games. You were dropping creatures pretty quickly, and with no way to get rid of it, that was a problem.
But I just pulled up my deck. It is my highest SAS Amber Skies deck, and it's still junk. It only has 16 creatures.
So both games, when it had 16 creatures, you kept dropping 4 at a time? That's funny. Draw better. I do believe a podcast.
And it had some high-quality cards like Quantum Finger Trap. That's a good one. Yeah. And then Scrap Scroungers with no artifacts you'd ever want back.
Yeah. That's a great. Yeah.
But anyway, Have you played this past week, Mr. Draz?
Oh yeah, yeah. We did play at the store and had a good old time. I was setting up. I took the buy for myself the one round so I could go and make sure we had our store championships date set up properly with the guy who runs the store, Carl. And so now we got those locked and loaded in. They're available out there on Ghost Galaxy's website for the Games Keep in Westchester, PA. We've got all 3 formats that we're going to do. Although I guess we're sort of doing Alliance, but we're kind of doing something weird. So what we're going to do for Alliance is, it's going to be sealed, and you have to buy 1 Talk deck and 1 Winds of Exchange deck, and you must use at least 1 pod from each, and then you get a bunch of token gen, and I think it'll be fun. And we're just going to do it as store champs, because why the hell not? And it's going to be, I think it'll be actually a reason to be like, okay, fine, I'll do some Alliance. So there, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
Alliance.
Fun?
That sounds good to me. Like, that redheaded stepchild is Alliance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always like my tokens. So whether that's Winds of Exchange or Talk, I enjoy both of the sets. So I'm always up for playing.
Okay. So you know how the Southeast is constantly complaining that they don't get Vault Tours?
Yes.
So looking at the store championship map, there's one in South Carolina, which is Southeast, right? We'll call it the Southeast. And then the next one is Nashville, Tennessee, which is not the South or the East, really, right? Or it's like, the top of the South. What, I don't know how you want to figure it, but...
Top of the South, yeah.
Yep, and then that's it. There is nothing in Georgia, nothing in Florida, nothing in Alabama, nothing in North Carolina. So that's why there's no Vault Tours down there. You can't even run store championships. Gotta beat up on your stores harder.
Yeah.
I hear that, but under that assumption, there's nothing in Oregon. You have one in Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, we got to be careful there.
No,
I mean,
the Baltimore store hasn't put in theirs yet.
Yeah.
You know,
like
I see the Rochester one has.
Our local store in southeastern Wisconsin hasn't. So Janesville has theirs.
This one's yours. You made me contact them for the Amber Skies, so you've got to contact them for store championships.
Oh, I lost. No, but I do think it is interesting where store champs. Maybe we'll have to take another photo of this once all of them are updated. And so I guess maybe that's the plea. Go ahead and put in your store champs, talk to your locals, and Dresscore, talk to your store so your store can put it in, right?
Yeah, this is super weird on the forum. It's like, you cannot put this in as a delegate. I'm like, what? What are you looking at my IP address? Come on, Josh. It'll be fine. Store owner, he's good. But yeah, we got it in, and I actually did force my store owner to do it. But I did think it was weird that it was in such strong language. So, we've got. Let's see, what do we have? Sealed is February 23rd. Archon, Thursday, February 27th. Alliance, Sunday, March 23rd. So, should be good.
It is something exciting to be able to look at, to get back into the stores and to be playing. I know that we go out every week, and it's something I look forward to. But if you haven't, definitely get back to your locals, spread the word. Speaking of, we have a new set that's coming out next week, boys.
Do we?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Discovery.
Our audience, go ahead.
Yeah, so Discovery's in theory coming next week, and we'll see what's in it. It might be amazing. It might be terrible. either way, hopefully, maybe somehow, we'll get some new players.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
That's the goal. We want to be able to draw in some new players. I'm going to hold back my thoughts at this point because I just don't know. I don't think there's enough information about it. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I do want to do something. I just don't. I don't yet know what I'm gonna try and how I'm actually gonna try to get new players, and not just have it be all of us be like, well, we're trying Discovery, which we will, but I don't know. Try to figure out how to run some sort of something.
Well, on that note, my store did receive an email from our Asmodee rep that Discovery is coming out, and there was a questionnaire that came with it asking about if you're carrying Keyforge, what you need to carry Keyforge again, and some questions like that. So there's some sort of push, but that was, from Asmodee Distribution.
This episode is made possible by PwC. Hear that? That's the tax landscape changing. More complexity, more tech, more modernization. You need better data, better connectivity, better operations. At PwC, we're ready for what's next. Are you? Elevate tax. Multiply value with PwC. This episode is made possible by PwC. Bottom line, what you're doing today isn't going to get you where you need to go tomorrow. It's time to see ahead and get ahead. Find ways to grow and new ways to make money. Reinvent your business model and meet the future with PwC. Find out more at pwc.com.
Which, in some ways, is impressive that Asmodee was even convinced to do that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to decide how do I respond to it from Kryptonite, where I'm like, yeah, but we order direct. So, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that there's a step in the right direction, and that's what's needed. Hey, if you aren't going ahead and presently running Keyforge, what would get you enticed? If not, what else can we help you with? It's better than nothing, boys. It's better than nothing.
It is definitely something.
All right.
What is my answer to them, though, on what do we need to make Keyforge more successful?
Marketing.
Oh, yeah, I think that's my answer. And it's not in-store promotional materials.
Take a Super Bowl spot. What do you think?
I'm still saying that we put it in Happy Meals. The 90 Happy Meals is coming back right now. I saw that Pokemon was being put in. Why not? Let's put Keyforge.
No, there's too much age restriction stuff going on now for our original advertising plan. So.
Well, you can't put
it in Viagra.
You can't put BPA in a Happy Meal anymore? Oh.
What wasn't our Keyforge that we were putting it with Viagra because that's our demographic?
Hymns. We're going to go with hymns.
Oh, hymns. Okay.
Hymns, that is the new thing.
Because they're definitely spending the advertising dollars.
Mm-hmm.
No, outside of advertising, I don't know. We need to be able to get store employees aware that the game exists and to be able to play. I don't know. So, no, I think advertising is going to be my top priority. And then that also means on the backside, when we have these amazing vaults, we have them announced, we have things that we're looking forward to, then getting that information out to the broader community that would be within driving distance of the vaults and making sure that afterwards that information gets back out. So there's publicity that's shown, whether that's on YouTube or elsewhere. Again, going ahead and linking through BGG.
But YouTube doesn't reach.
I know. It
reaches the people who are already buying into it, right? It's not advertising.
No, it is not advertising, but that's what I'm saying. So if we're looking at BGG, that potentially targets some of your board gamers, going ahead and getting into some of your cons, some of your smaller ones. There's just so many different games that are coming out got to be able to have a way to have an impact and to show that you have a great player base and you have these amazing events that are being run. It's a real dilemma. I'll say that.
All right. So we thought for our main topic today, what we should do, since, if we talk about the original topic, Wookiee will complain, but there's a lot of spoilers that came out recently from all these different podcasts and various content providers. So, hopefully you listen to and watch a bunch of them, but we thought we'd give our opinion on those various cards and just go through them, tell you what we think. So we're going to skip stuff that we've talked about before in the cast and just rock and roll, do some quick hits. We'll have to sort of, I don't know, guess as to which ones we haven't or haven't talked about. So I got Archana open. Gentlemen, you guys have it open as well?
Yep, and thank you to Archana for being able to compile those spoilers. We will say that if you go ahead and put exclude reprints, it does bug your system, so you may want to look at that. But hey, we appreciate it's all here, helping us to make our job easier.
So I think the first one we haven't talked about is Outlook Not So Good. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah, so the first 7 cards look like they're prophecies, and that is what I had seen. So expect the unexpected. Prophecy: after your opponent shuffles their discard pile into their deck during their turn, fulfill expect the unexpected.
We've seen this one.
Yeah, that one has been out for a while. The second one, Forge Ahead with Confidence.
I thought we were skipping all the cards.
I was trying to go to Outlook
Who's in
Not
charge?
So Good. Outlook Not So Good.
Drascor's in charge here.
That's a demerit, Ewok.
Got it. I'll be standing with the dunce cap on over the corner.
We'll see you in detention later. Outlook Not So Good. A prophecy. It's got a cool ship with lightning. Art's pretty cool. After your opponent chooses an active house that matches no cards in play, fulfill Outlook Not So Good.
This episode is made possible by PwC. Bottom line, what you're doing today isn't going to get you where you need to go tomorrow. It's time to see ahead and get ahead. Find ways to grow and new ways to make money. Reinvent your business model and meet the future with PwC. Find out more at pwc.com. This episode is made possible by PwC. Hear that? That's the tax landscape changing. More complexity, more tech, more modernization. You need better data, better connectivity, better operations. At PwC, we're ready for what's next. Are you? Elevate tax. Multiply value with PwC.
What do you guys think of this one?
That's short of artifacts. That's like a guaranteed to be resolved at some point kind of card. I mean, not guaranteed for certain, but it's not a highly likely one to be completed.
Yeah, this is a repeat.
More than once per game.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It has a high probability. I think that it should be firing consistently early on, which is really nice. Mid to late game, it can potentially sit. If artifacts are out, then it really has a hamper on it. But outside of that, board wipes will also go ahead and trigger it. So I like this. You're going to get multiple effects off of it.
Little weaker offset, right? Or stronger offset, and if you want it to trigger, as you're less likely to have house overlap.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can time your board clears to try to trigger this, so it's got some flexibility. So I like the design on this.
I'm good with it. I mean, compared to what we had seen for ours, Go Forth and Conquer, so fighting, I still think that can happen quite a bit. So it's kind of in that tier. And it is definitely above, like, Expect the Unexpected, where you're shuffling your discard pile in. That's not going to happen nearly as much. So I like this when it can happen consistently. That's what I want to be seeing.
All right. The next one, Stars aligned. It's also a prophecy. Love the art. Little circle star moon situation. At the start of your opponent's turn, if each player has the same number of creatures, fulfill stars aligned. What do you think about this?
Will be forgotten. Will be missed.
Feels a lot harder to align these stars to make this happen, right?
So this is what's interesting.
Actually, that one's at the start of your opponent's so these
you
are
get a
read
discard
by...
your creature to trigger this? Maybe? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Actually, I think this one's
Yeah.
one of the easiest ones to align.
No,
Maybe.
because notice the trigger of where it is. So
Your opponent reads this at the start of your turn, so
yeah.
I end my
get to
turn with the
control.
same number of creatures as you, and it triggers.
Yes. So in that case, yes, we're gonna
It's
go ahead and
this one is
discard
like
for the-
you as the player, as the
have
player,
control over it.
have quite a bit of control over it. Unless you're just getting outboarded, or you have significantly outboarded them, then it can be.
If there's a huge
thing.
discrepancy, then it's not going to be hitting, but it should be fairly easy to be able to fire.
But we also
Yeah,
haven't
I guess
seen
it's
that
interesting
many
trade-off.
prophecy-based cards where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to have this hit to win. Been a few strong ones, but
I don't know. We'll talk about Star
We'll get
Alliance
to 'em.
and what's there. Yeah, I don't know about that comment, but okay. Sheep. Next one.
All right. The cards will tell. It's very meta. It's got a dude playing cards. Says it's prophecy again. Each time your opponent draws a card, place a prophecy counter on this card. If there are 10 or more prophecy counters on the cards will tell, they resolve each fate effect under cards will tell. That's
too much tracking on this card. I don't like it.
There's a lot of words there, right?
This one sounds
Why does it
good
not
for TCO to
fulfill?
track.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what's interesting about this is, again, we haven't had all the clarity on these prophecies, but Forge Ahead with Confidence and the cards will tell both fall under resolve each fate effect, meaning that it sounds like there is more than one. That's interesting to me. So does that mean I can go ahead and play multiples on it?
So wait, whose cards are counted for cards will tell? Like it's
always your opponent. So if I play this, if I have it next to me, as soon as you draw a card, you're going to go ahead and put a number on it, 1 to 10. Now this is going to go ahead and happen.
So this prophecy belongs to me.
Yes, all the prophecies belong to you, but they're triggering off of your effects. So when you draw, it's going to go ahead and put a counter on it, which you will draw at the end of your turn. So this is going if you
But
are
I
seeing
didn't think
certain decks
prophecies
that are drawing
were really
during the
supposed
card.
to fire on your turn.
No. It's
well.
so okay. It's my prophecy sheet, because this is where some people are getting confused on this. It's my prophecy.
Oh.
I am placing a card there. but
Yes.
It triggers off of you. So as you draw, it goes up to 1. Then you draw again, it's 2.
Yes.
As soon as you hit 10, it fires. It's on your turn that it will be fired.
After your opponent chooses. Okay, that's
Well, there are ways to make your opponent draw during your turn.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, there definitely are. So, yes, you this one could actually trigger off turn.
This one can actually trigger off turn, but the idea
my-
is that it's most likely not going to happen.
Is there some like wonky effect where you can make your opponent's creature fight too?
Is there?
I thought there was some convoluted
think
bunch
so.
of junk.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But again, this one,
Maybe that was a preview card that they fixed that I'm thinking about.
what do you guys think about the 10 hits and then you're fulfilling it?
Too much data.
Well, you got to
tracking.
bring your D10s, right? Like, I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's too much extra fiddly junk.
it's fine.
And you're gonna miss weird draws that happen mid-turn and stuff.
Yeah.
So that
It's just too fiddly. And in a big tournament, it gets missed. It could actually be meaningful, and pointless
Oh, no,
games.
You turn it when, whatever.
So remember that it is
use
both,
my legacy Maverick tutor bid Rilo.
Well, but this is the thing. It is both players' responsibility to keep track of game state. I do think that it's going to get messed up, and it's going to be very, very tricky to go back. Whoa, we have to redo it to this point. No, like once you're past that timing window, like you're going to have to really be on top of your game for prophetic visions. I will say that. But I do like the idea of 10 actually here, because between draws, we're looking at roughly 3-4 turns. That's roughly from where I guesstimate that it's going to go ahead and fire. If our average amount of turns is 6, you potentially get to fire it twice. So that's interesting. If you're facing certain enhancements, which enhancements have shown up more recently, then this could be a lot quicker. So I'm okay with it. Do we feel that it's going to fire more frequently than not choosing an active house for Outlook Not So Good or Stars Aligned? Or is it about the same?
I don't know. I haven't really. You could. There's probably more ways to control Outlook Not So Good or Stars Aligned than Cards Will Tell. Right? Some decks just won't have ways to manage how many cards your opponent's drawing, but some will.
Yeah, but generally we believe that you're going to want your prophecies to trigger, so this one's fine, right? Because it will trigger at some point. This is another one where, like, if your opponent is drawing 0 cards, you either have already won or already lost, right? Like, it's generally one of those, they either already have their whole deck in their hand, and that's why they're not drawing, or they're buried in chains and can't move off cards because they have to keep reaping with some pointless creature to keep you off check, and you're slowly winning the game likely anyways. So
well, again, I think the impact of the actual prophecies, what we're going ahead, the individual fates, how strong those fates are consistently, and how often the prophecies are going to trigger is going to be the linchpin for this set. If you have it where it's happening when you shuffle your discard pile, not frequent enough. If it is when you're choosing the active house that doesn't match, potentially, that's lining up, or when someone fights or reaps, those are things that should happen frequently. I like that. One, it's getting rid of extra cards because I don't necessarily have to play a fate that's there. I just have to put a card under it. That's what had been shared. But I could also, some of these fates are really, really good. So I think there's going to be some great mind games. But I do think that linchpin is going to be really important to see how frequently they trigger, and then what value are we getting for our fates.
Yep. All right, the next one. Final prophecy on our list here. Treat each action as your last. After your opponent plays 2 or more action cards during their turn, they resolve each fate effect under treat each action as your last. Playing 2 actions? I mean, I feel like I do that pretty often.
This is like
yeah.
This one's a super early. This isn't a legit one right now. You'd tell in the templating, because one, there's only going to be 1 fate effect under the cards now. The stacking multiple fates went away. This is an early preview, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be reworded. And it might stay where it is, your opponent, and fulfill this fate effect. That might be all it changes.
This episode is made possible by PwC. Hear that? That's the tax landscape changing. More complexity, more tech, more modernization. You need better data, better connectivity, better operations. At PwC, we're ready for what's next. Are you? Elevate tax. Multiply value with PwC.
With New Year's resolutions, many of us will make a vow to eat healthier, and that's a good thing. But what about our beloved pets and their nutrition? Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here, and I'm on a mission to provide better nutrition for cats and dogs because, truthfully, all pet food is dead food, which is why we created Rough Greens and Meow Greens in the first place. We bring their food back to life with live vitamins, minerals, probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, antioxidants, and so much more. All in a tasty formula that your dog and cat will love. You can improve your pet's coat, digestion, energy, and have less vet bills. Let 2025 bring a new year and a new pet. Get a Jumpstart trial bag, normally $20. Get a 100% discount with promo code BESTFRIEND. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com, use promo code BESTFRIEND. Bring your pet's food back to life with Rough Greens. So good, your pet will ask for it by name.
But your opponent playing 2 effects or 2 actions, I don't know. This one's a randomy feeling. Don't like it that much. It's fine. Like, it's another one, whatever.
I feel like an Archon, it's a lot more common than Sealed, right? Sealed to drop a bunch of creatures past turn sometimes.
I don't know. We gotta start reading more fate cards, because right now I just feel like you just play into them and you go, and you spend a whole lot of time worrying about if you trigger fates.
But I guess that's the question: is there really control? Because if they're double-sided, you're gonna once they're revealed, you'll know that they can come back again. Okay, that's my hypothesis. What I would picture. So if it can trigger a little more consistently, that's both good, but it also leads to some of the mind games. If we're seeing these that they're just not showing up, or they don't have, you don't have control over your opponent playing 2 actions. So that first time, maybe it reveals, does it impact you? If you know that if I've played this once and you played 2 actions, are you now going to choose in a future turn not to play those 2 actions?
Maybe. I don't know. That's where I think it could be interesting, right? It could be a threat. We'll have to see.
But
I haven't seen enough fate stuff that makes me super concerned about it.
I know you say that. I want to have more interaction in the game where it actually has an impact, like drawing cards.
But this is more this
you have to
blind
draw cards.
Bluffing junk too.
Yeah,
like I'm sticking a card under there, and it's I know some people enjoy that. Other people are terrible with that.
Yes. But that's the mechanism for this, or the mechanics.
It's like when you're actually putting a really good card under there, and you know they're playing a deck that needs to play actions, and you're like, oh, I'm going to put this, I put it in their face, I put it face down so they know they don't want to do it. So you like... But then you're also giving them the ability to know when to trigger that fate. But, like the hard push, some silly fun stuff like that. Like that could be a rule under fate. You can put the fate in face down or face up. One face down one and one face up one. I don't know. Like something like some game effect where what you're putting in there is more mind games than what it is. Because in typical Sealed, I feel like half the stuff that's going to end up under fate is just like, well, I just get this bad card out of my hand by stuffing it under that fate.
Here's a dark minion.
But if I can go ahead and gain efficiency from it, there's still value in it.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. You're going to use fate for efficiency more than fating.
Yeah, that's why I say it depends. If it's happening every turn, okay, then it's efficient to get rid of a card. If it's not happening every turn, then you may want to be able to hold on to it for the stronger fate. I don't know. It's just, I wish I had a little bit more control here. When I'm looking, drawing 10 cards is going to happen. I don't have any control over my opponent doing that. Going ahead and the amount of creatures, I have control over that. Okay. Choosing an active house, not really. I mean, it depends if we share, but I don't have as much control.
I mean, choosing to clean their board is a place where you have impact, for sure.
It's a little bit. Going ahead and being able to fight, so playing creatures or not. Their ability to shuffle a deck, again. So it's just interesting how the prophecies are coming out. Some of them you have control over, and some you have absolutely no control over. I think I lean towards wanting to have the players to have more control and impact the game, but that's just where I am, so it's interesting.
No. It'll be interesting to see what kind of final mix there is.
Yeah. All right, let's go find some cards that got some fate on it. We'll just keep going down the list. It's actually first, I guess. Did we talk about, what is this?
Anagogue?
Antanagogue?
Yeah, you're
I don't know.
talking about the 2 new anomalies,
anomaly?
which we
Yeah.
had briefly shared, but
All right, so we'll keep going then if we talked about those. So let's see. These are reprints. These are reprints.
can we at least say what's being reprinted? Or
No.
Wow, he's really...
Keep said no.
I think it's interesting to see what is being reprinted, and that's why
I agree, but that's not what this particular segment is for.
Yeah, so
that's being
right,
reprinted.
did we
Yes.
talk about Eddy of Dis? I think we did, right?
Let's say it.
All right.
Yeah. Eddy of
I
Dis,
can't remember.
Amber, there's an action, play, shuffle a random card from your opponent's hand into their deck. Fate, your opponent shuffles their discard pile into their deck. They draw a card.
So you can trigger cards will tell more, I guess. I don't know. That's fine.
Do you want to shuffle a random card from their hand into their deck? Or would you prefer that you shuffle their discard pile and then they draw a card? So they're gaining a card from bringing the discard pile back in.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't feel it's strong enough, that Fate.
yeah, I that Fate's not that great. Like against certain matchups, sure, if you want to break Haunted, but
Haunted
I
or
don't
the
know.
loop that they keep cycling with their...
Yeah. So it's certain scenarios, but for the most part, it's not that great.
Okay.
All right, we talked about Embellish Imp. We talked about Grave Bounty. That was ours, right?
Yeah.
Our spoiler. Yep. Oh, you shouldn't have. I don't know if we talked about this or not. Fate, your opponent gains 3. So you're just giving your opponent some, or well, you're getting Ember, I guess, because you're putting this under your prophecy, and then they give you.
Yeah, as soon as they fulfill it, you're going to be gaining 3 Amber.
Like, that's a okay card as long as you're not burying too many other Fate cards that aren't getting triggered, and you just discard this because all your Fate slots are full.
Or they're running red line rotation.
This also...
Yeah, like, Archon, the Fate stuff is gonna... Fate is going to be not a lot of fun in Archon, because remembering Fate effects is going to take quite a bit additional time, I think, as players, right? And then you definitely... And thank God we don't have the... You can only look at the deck name or the deck card names, and that we get to look at it in the app, because I'm going to need to look at it in the app to remember Fate effects. There's just
Okay, so, but you have 4 prophecy cards, but they're double-sided, so you're going to have 2 up at a time.
at most, right. So if your deck has 7 or 8 prophecy cards, you may get to a point where you're like, I want to play this as a Fate effect, but I can't because my opponent isn't triggering these Fates.
Correct. So you're only going to be able to...
Because the stars haven't aligned?
You only have 2 prophecies that can be active at a time. You switched up. And I had done the same earlier, that's why. So the Fates are the card that you're placing on your prophecy. But if your prophecy already has a Fate on it, you can't place another one from what I had read and seen.
Right, that's
And
what
so
it sounds like.
Yeah, and as soon as 2 of them are out, that's what you're talking about. Is you're
Right, yeah. Both your prophecy slots are filled with Fate cards, and now you're discarding these cards?
I would say this templating also looks like it's early, because underneath it says place this card face down under a prophecy. When that prophecy fulfills, the active player must resolve all Fate effects under it. So there's no Amber and there's no impact if it's not placed as a Fate effect.
Right, yeah,
So
there are definitely
that
cards
could-
like that in this set.
Yeah, but if it has no other value outside of being a Fate effect, like that's...
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
actually takes
That's
quite
rough.
a hit.
I don't think you're going to see a bunch of those as common.
No, that's shown as uncommon, but even there,
Yeah, and gain
don't
3
wanna be
Amber under a card that you don't get to control when it triggers. I mean, like, gain 3 Amber, we have cards that do that now, and they're only considered good.
But why wouldn't we just go ahead and put an Amber on this, and then I either play it for an Amber or I can play it as a Fate? Like, to be stuck with it and I can't do anything is no bueno at all. So
Well, yeah. Because it doesn't... So, it doesn't have a play effect, but you can still play it?
It is an action, so yes.
Right, you could, like, to trigger say your opponent has the fate, the prophecy that says play 2 action cards. Can I play this as a pointless action card to trigger that, potentially? Because I know I want to clear out that whatever he's put in there.
You should be able to get enhancement pips on it, right? So
But why? Wait. Why would you want to clear out your opponent's fate? That would not make sense.
Because they may have this card under there, and I want them to go over 7 so I can drumble them or something.
Yes.
Because I'm at a point where I'm like, the gamble that could be this and could help me in this situation. Because that is something, these prophecy cards, or these fate cards, definitely depending on the number that you have of them, your opponent gets to sometimes choose when they trigger, and good players will be able to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, they'll know, hey, you've got these few
like if you have
cards.
Yeah. And if you have stuff that discards cards, I'm like, oh yes, I want to discard cards this turn. Or I know you have the purge stuff, so I try to set my discard up first, then I trigger it, and I purge bad cards out of my deck. Like,
I hear that. I don't think it's going to happen as frequently.
I think it's going to happen a lot more frequently than you think it is.
We'll see. We'll leave it there.
We'll see. I'm interested to see. I'm excited about all this. So, all right. Next up, did we talk about parasitic arachnoid?
I don't remember that one.
2 power beast destroyed. An enemy creature captures 1 from its own side. Fate. A friendly creature captures 3 from your side. I feel like maybe we did talk about this, but
yeah, I do feel, but
yeah, friendly creature capturing 3, basically off your opponent.
Slow steal 3,
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But this is another one, like I'm saying, if you know this is in their deck, you can try to trigger that fate when you have no creatures, and then it fizzles.
Yep.
Right? So, like, that kind of stuff is for sure gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, Pied Viper, 3 power beast, elusive. If there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, each enemy creature gains after Reap. Give your opponent control of this creature.
Yeah, we talked about.
Yeah,
this
we definitely talked about this one. It's the problem with this is really hard to know what we have and haven't seen here.
Yeah, it does sound familiar. Okay,
But
all right, keep going.
But the Pied Viper has real issues because I can now send over creatures, give you control, and that's where the discussion had gone.
Yep. Okay. Did we talk about Poised Strike? I don't think so.
No.
It's an upgrade. Has an ember. If this creature would be readied, destroy it instead.
Yeah, this was one of the previews this week.
Fate. Skip your ready cards step this turn. That could be a big deal.
Could be a big deal. Could be totally meaningless, like all cards, right? That's true of all cards.
No, I think this is much better. I don't see it as being used as an upgrade consistently, but that Fate skip your ready card step is pretty big.
What house is this? Is this in Dis?
It's in Dis, and it means that you're not coming back.
It means you can play it on your own creature and get a same turn destroyed effect if you had to have it.
Yeah, your Dust Imp, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some weird things can happen with this card a little bit, kind of.
Why? You'd place it there. If this creature would be ready, destroy it. Okay, so yes, then you're dead. I got you.
But then, ultimately, like, this is a rephrased containment field.
Yep.
With New Year's resolutions, many of us will make a vow to eat healthier, and that's a good thing. But what about our beloved pets and their nutrition? Greetings, Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here, and I'm on a mission to provide better nutrition for cats and dogs because truthfully, all pet food is dead food, which is why we created Rough Greens and Meow Greens in the first place. We bring their food back to life with live vitamins, minerals, probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, antioxidants, and so much more. All in a tasty formula that your dog and cat will love. You can improve your pet's coat, digestion, energy, and have less vet bills. Let 2025 bring a new year and a new pet. Get a Jumpstart trial bag, normally $20. Get a 100% discount with promo code BESTFRIEND. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com, use promo code BESTFRIEND. Bring your pet's food back to life with Rough Greens. So good, your pet will ask for it by name.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With a fate. Which is why we're saying that things have basically been upgraded.
And that fate, again, this fate is good, but it's not game warping.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the matchup, right? Sometimes you're up against an opponent that really cares about their creatures and artifacts. Sometimes you're not. So it's a bit matchup dependent. All right. Solo. Did we talk about Solo?
I don't remember.
5 power demon. If there are no other friendly creatures in play, Solo gets plus 20 power and gains after fight gain 3. Fate. Destroy each creature.
Board wipe
What do you
on
think about
the
this
fate, and after fight, gaining 3.
Mm-hmm.
It only gets it, though, if it is by itself.
But if it's solo, no other friendly creatures, yeah. I think
it's a great after fight effect to be able to have the gain 3. I just don't see it lasting. It's really hard to only be playing with one creature on your side.
Right, and your opponent also has creatures because sure, board wipe, but then you play them, and then your opponent could be like, well, I'm just not going to play creatures. And then, I don't know, the fate destroy each creature, because you can't... Your opponent may or may not trigger it when you want to, right? It's sort of like how you hold board clear sometimes, and you're just like, well, I'm not going to play it this turn, but like you could play this, and it actually... Or fate it, I guess. And then it actually helps your opponent, because it took the board state changed between the time you put it there or not. Like, this one's tricky, I think.
Okay, I think I figured out the cheat how we go through this list. Only look at the cards where it has the big artist name.
The big artist name.
Yeah, where it has the artist name and they're not reprints.
Okay.
Seems
right. Okay. All right, we'll try that trick.
Yeah. Maybe
one weird trick that helps you reading Keyforge spoilers. Okay, that'll be the... we can have Wookiee name... in the episode.
Or it's 10 o'clock. We finish with this here.
Should we pick up the pace? Is that what you're saying?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys got
skip. Bit bite. 2 power creature AI in Logos. We're into Logos now. Skirmish. After fight, put the creature bit bite fights into its owner's archives. Fate. Your opponent archives the bottom card of their deck.
Yeah, this is whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. Maybe there's some bottom deck stuff going on in this where you can set up so you're picking what they're archiving a little better, but
outside of Unfathomable and there's not enough interaction with the bottom card.
Yeah, this is pretty underwhelming. Agreed.
Yeah.
And
all right, moving on.
To be able to archive it? No, that's I don't want that happening.
What? Your bottom card getting archived? That's always good. Anything going into your archives is generally good.
It's just going in your archives. You get an extra card off of it. But in comparison to others, no. I think that this is not strong enough. Again,
is this a common? If this is a common, it's fine.
It's uncommon.
Okay, then this card is whatever. Yeah. Put it in the junk.
Okay.
Do we do the Foreseer?
Well, I mean, it's kind of got your... They could have made it look like a gummy worm for JR. Because it's got the gummy worm fight effect.
Yeah, I thought... Is this a new one? 4CR, 4Seer? 2 power cyborg scientist. Play after reap. Look at the top 2 cards.
You can see
of your
how
deck.
that card's clipped in here, that it's from something else.
Something else. Put 1 into your hand and 1 on top of your deck. So, I mean, this is kind of similar to like previous iterations of cards where you look at the top 3 and do something, but now this is top 2.
Gonna play Reap. This guy's pretty good.
Yeah. So.
He's a small body. I don't think it'll last long, but at common.
Yeah, but on play you do it. So.
Yeah. And if they don't, like, this is a Reap effect that's worth going back to.
Mm-hmm. All right. Skipping ahead. Let's see. Designer Crick. 3 power scientists. 2 armor. Each time your opponent discards a card from their hand, draw a card, and Designer Crick captures 1.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Targeting Geistoid at all, anyone?
Yeah. So, I mean, this could be good, right? If you got a lot of ways to discard cards out of your opponent's hand, or it makes them hesitate because you're on their turn, you're getting cards. Like, getting cards during your opponent's turn is strong. So, I don't know. It's a rare, but this could be good. What do you think?
I think it's fine seeing GR there. We'll have to see. It's in a rare slot, so I don't know how often it's actually going to come for us. But the ability to draw a card and to capture, I'm good with if someone's discarding, and there's a whole set that's doing
It's a pretty strong card.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, and the capture could be annoying too for your opponent. Right?
Be surprised how much you discard, even when you're not playing with discard pips. There's some other card that triggers off discard. And it annoys the crap out of me.
The Amasser? Is that what it is? Or,
Amasser. Amasser when you're not being forced to discard, and yet that card is a pain.
Yeah.
Because there's times where you're just like, I want to discard my board wipe, but it makes him a toga, or this card that...
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's part of, I'm a big fan of discarding cards. Like, I love discarding creatures instead of playing them because it stops so many effects that exist in this game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next, we've got Duck.
Yeah,
Superb
the Forsaken,
Duck.
not the Amasser. We've seen
I was actually looking that up. I'm like, man, that is not a master at all. But thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I said it was the other one. I thought I just moved on.
I just couldn't pull it up fast, and I'm like, wait a second, that is not right.
Isn't Duck an old one?
Is Duck Superb Duck an old one? Might be.
Man, somebody needs to put a list of this stuff together instead of trying to do it on the fly.
Seriously. You guys are loving us.
I just think that I think that these Designer Crick and Duck Superb Duck are definitely set up for sloppy. These two cards were made for them. So archive 2 random cards, gain 2 amber, choose 1. I like the choose 1 cards. Sitting it out of common.
Yeah, and it's not alpha, so
This
you
is
can
archive
play out all
2
your logo
random
stuff and
cards
then-
from hand. Yeah. This is not from deck or anything.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So that's good.
Interesting.
yeah, I like it.
All right.
It's actually a little bit of a game. It's almost a decision sometimes. If it's not putting you on check, I think the 2 cards are, at least in Archon, 2 cards are always worth more than 2 amber.
Yeah,
In
I agree.
Sealed, 2 amber may be worth more than 2 cards.
Could be. Depends on if which deck you're playing. Whether
Yeah,
it was
depends
Sheep
how
Ewoks
much.
this last time.
Just realize that you
It
can. play
depends
this
how
at
much
the very
Skyborn
end.
you have, right?
Yeah,
Bleh.
but realize
Or
you can play this
Redemption.
at-
Oh gosh. Redemption.
You can play this at the end of your turn. So now I'm down to 3 cards.
No, yeah,
Archive
we
2.
caught that.
It's all, yeah, it's there. I'm good with this.
Still might be better worth 2 amber.
All right, I think the next few have already been revealed.
Rage reset.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pick cards at random now. We're just reading about cards, wasting some time.
All right, Rage Reset, Amber Pip, action, play. Destroy any number of friendly creatures. Draw 1 card for each creature destroyed this way. Fate, discard your hand.
Yeah, definitely saw this one.
Discard your hand is pretty brutal, but I'm pretty sure we saw that, right?
So this one, though, this one is this card, Rage Reset, with Stars Aligned and Outlook Not So Good, because of when they trigger, and, like, they're both semi-controllable, could be really brutal. Think about that. Like, is putting is putting a fate card under a prophecy playing a card or not?
No,
I don't believe
So on go, I have
actually
7
don't know.
cards. Can I sync a fate card and play a card?
That is a good question. I do not know if...
Because I'm just thinking, think if you're, like, say you have, Stars Aligned or Outlook Not So Good, right? And your first turn, you can play an action, whatever, or, like, depending on which card, you play something, and then you have this fate that you stick under there, and it's guaranteed to trigger at the start of their turn.
And they just dump their hand.
And they
Like,
just,
oh.
and then just went bam,
Nothing.
their whole turn is just gone.
Yeah.
Like, that is a monster combo.
It'll definitely have an impact on pacing for the game and how it changes. Tempo's impacted.
Now, if your whole turn is just sinking that fate and then discarding their hand, still pretty darn strong.
Would you prefer to have it on turn 1, where they basically said, yes, this hand is what I'm keeping, or would you prefer to have it, let's say, on turn 2 or 3, where they have a board, so they could potentially still use that, but it just wipes them at that point, where they potentially...
I like the hard push immediately and just...
No, I think the hard push is good, but I don't think it's horrible.
I mean, discarding your whole hand, if you have a fate card that consistently prophecy that can consistently trigger at the start of their turn, that is gonna be strong. If it's some of these other ones where it's like after they've played 2 actions and then their hand's empty, who cares, right?
Yeah,
That's like a
Actually
terrible
help them
place.
actually, in order to go ahead and
they're
Right.
like discarding your hand at the right time is one of those effects where I want to trigger, right? Where I'm like, I would like to get rid of the rest of these cards. That would be fantastic. But it to happen at the beginning of your turn, especially after you called your house, that's potentially very brutal.
We'll have to see what the prophecies are, if it's going to be like the tokens, and did you get the right token? Our next one is a common, reassembly required. Amber Pip, action, play, put a creature into its owner's archives. Fate, discard your archives. Some archive hate.
Yeah. I mean,
Archive 8, yep.
it's
coming
archive
at
hate
combo.
that's often triggered after your archive pickup phase. So if you know the card exists and your archives are critical, it's very easy to protect against.
Yep.
That's true.
And it's coming
That's
in
true.
common, so you'll probably see multiples.
But again, as we were saying, there are a couple of fates where you don't have, as the player getting fated, fates. whatever. As the person getting the negative side of this, you don't have the ability to control when it fires, and your opponent does, and they can use this offensively.
I know we talked about Unstable Dale, 3-power creature cyborg. After Reap, deal 1 to each creature for each card in your hand. Fate, deal 3 to each friendly creature.
So why are we talking about it again?
Moving on.
All right. Wormhole Technician coming back. Zeph Punch.
We don't have to touch every card. You're killing me.
Yes. Touch. 4 power. After Reap, archive the top card of your deck and the top card of your discard pile.
Yes.
Yes, at uncommon. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Good Reap effect.
put the card you want in your discard pile, archive it, and something else. Seems good. It'll be a little dirty in the other archives, but
Dirty archives. Good.
we learned to live with that in GR. So
Yeah. When your archives are 6 or 8 cards, it doesn't really matter when they're dirty.
yeah.
I do find it interesting what is actually shown here. We only have 1 Mars card. I like it at Battlefleet, but we have a whole bunch of redemption. So Brass Klein, 4 power, 1 armor mutant creature. Brass Klein gains skirmish while on a flank and taunt while not on a flank. Fate, for the rest of your turn, friendly creatures cannot fight.
Pass.
Yeah, not so great.
I mean, he's a decent taunter and
Common.
a decent flanker, but also,
Yeah.
wow, does he not push game state?
Yeah.
Corrosive Monk, 4 power, 0 armor, creature monk, mutant. Each creature is considered to have 0 armor. Each creature cannot gain armor. Fate, destroy a friendly creature for each enemy mutant creature.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
0 armor, can't gain armor. And then
So the fate effect...
2... Yeah.
No, the fate effect here, because it's on your turn. Stressgar, as the active player, you're going to choose to You
get to choose which your creatures die.
Yeah. So if
I'll kill my
Dust
Dust Imp, I'll kill my... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But also, if
You're forced
you
into it.
have less creatures than I have mutants, it's just everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fate effect here is fine as a rare card. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's not so great.
Ragatha, 5 power, 0 armor, creature mutant. Treachery. Each enemy creature gains after Reap. Deal 3 to each of Ragatha's.
Yeah, we talked about this
We
one.
talked about this one.
Yeah.
Because this is
Ruthless
one that
Avenger.
does weird things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ruthless Avenger, 4 power, 0 armor, creature knight. Assault 2, hazardous 2. Fates, purge 2 random cards from your discard pile. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck.
Maybe...
Whatever.
Yeah. It's
Coming in
okay.
uncommon, so there it is.
It's GR hate, right? Shuffling their discard
Yeah.
pile in is good. Just purging random cards is okay.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Benevolent Charity.
This is Sydney's card.
That's
is
Sydney
Sydney.
card, yep.
Sydney and kids. So 3 enhanced capture pips. Play, move, action. Play, move each amber on a friendly creature to the common supply. Fate, each enemy creature with amber on it captures one.
Like,
So this is Sanctum, by the way.
It is Sanctum, sorry. We did shift.
is
Yep.
this a common?
It is uncommon.
It is uncommon. Okay. Like, think of having 3 of these.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a lot of capture.
well,
Pretty
and
good.
it's a lot of, like, you're going to play it for nothing.
Yeah, the more the better, right? And then you just capture and dump Ember.
I don't know. I'm hoping that you'll have capture that's
Is this
gonna be
still
an
not
uncommon
just like
and-
you're like, they made Craptacular Rays, they made
Yes, that is a
Sync
big
Semper,
shift.
right? And then this is just like, cleaned off a card, which is an okay effect. Like, it's not a bad effect, but it's like...
Well, it's all your... Not a single card, it's all your cards.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But still...
That helped.
It is a card that, when it exists in 2 copies of the right deck, is going to make the grindiest garbage games ever. I make Amber. I capture it and wash it all away.
Yeah.
But I'm playing crappy Sanctum creatures, so I'm not actually making any Amber.
It'll slow the game down. Seeing this, though, I think it will have an impact on some of the cards that have been spoiled for Sanctum. You have Outflank for capturing. You have Sir Juan for capturing. You have the Corpulent Collector for capturing. You have
This
Ships
does
in
come with
Battlefield.
3 capture enhancements, too, so
Yeah.
it very well could be a card that gets self-enhanced. Like, this is a card that should have just been self-enhanced, but then it might as well just said capture an Amber.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I think this is going to play better than we're giving it credit for right now. Shall we go Broken Intent? Broken Intent, action, 1 Amber Pip that's there. Play, choose 1. Each player discards their archives. Purge an action card in a discard pile.
Man, what is with the Purge?
Purge is back.
Like,
Discard
they're
archives,
like,
uncommon.
they're like, well, how do we
yeah.
make Sanctum or Redemption valid against GR? Well, they better start purging and wrecking archives too. That's not just a Logos thing anymore, guys.
Is purging, well, again, Logos has too much, but is purging 1 card fast enough? This is a common, so you could have multiple.
Depends on this has got choices, and it does have an Amber Pip, but purging 1 card could be critical.
Yeah, you kill that target
Timing.
and purge it. Yeah.
Oh no, this is action cards only.
Oh, well, never mind. Get that key abduction.
Yeah.
All right.
This is stronger, though, because it is a discard archives, not a stinky shuffle in archives. I'm not a fan of that effect. Shuffle in archives, like, it just concentrates decks. It's what it feels like it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blah,
If it's
blah,
mono
blah,
archive,
blah,
then yeah.
blah. Sir
All right.
Juan?
Did we do Collective Calm?
I think so.
Each creature gains after reap, gain 1. After a friendly creature is used to fight, destroy Collective Calm. There's an Amber Pip on it, so it's power artifact.
Okay.
But that is a dual-sided artifact.
Yeah,
though.
we definitely talked about that one.
Okay. Grey Warden? 3 power, 3 power creature, human monk, deploy after fight, after reap, ready a neighboring Sanctum creature. I feel like
Garbage. Next.
well, but well, what is it? That's your
Not on play.
No, this isn't a play effect, and it can only do
No.
Sanctum creatures. This is hot garbo.
Yeah, not good.
Oracle's on. 3 power creature monk. After reap, move each amber from a friendly creature to the common supply. For each amber move, deal 2 damage from a creature. Sorry,
Heal.
Heal
Yeah,
2
we
damage.
talked about this. We didn't care about it
Yeah.
then. We don't care about it now.
All right. Sir
Well, like, these
Juan,
cards are so messy. Not, I mean, like, they'll be fine. Like, every once in a
Sir
while,
Juan, we
it's gonna
talked
move a
about,
bunch of
yeah.
amber. But like,
Yeah.
this is like, if this is spoilers, this is spoiled my appetite for buying this set. Discard your hand is the only thing I've seen here that has got me excited. Everything else is just like, these are some cards. They're okay. They'll do some things, but they're not.
The Dis ones and the Logos ones seemed good, just
They
like
were
normal. And
fine.
now we're in Sanctum, and it's not so good.
And we're
So,
Redemption and Sanctum,
yeah.
and it's the same.
Just par for the course.
Sir Juan, 3 power, 1 armor, knight, human creature. Play, capture a third, rounded down, of your opponent's amber. Fate, lose a third, rounded down, of your amber.
We talked about him.
Yep.
All right.
Tildar, creature.
Saurian.
Monk. Did you...
We talked about that guy too.
Do we? Each
Did
friendly
we?
creature gains...
Yeah,
after
we
fight.
definitely talked about this.
All right, well, I was totally not here for that. All right, Saurian.
That could be it.
On to Saurian.
I don't remember
I-
Gaius's name.
Yeah, Gaius we didn't talk about, so you can do him.
Gaius.
Go ahead.
All right. Gaius, 3 power, 0 armor, dinosaur philosopher creature. After reap, ward each friendly creature with amber on it. Scrap, ward a friendly creature.
This card's
Ward
fine.
coming back for dinos.
It's not great.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. He's only 3 power. How often
If
is he
there's
gonna read?
enough capture out there like that, reap, ward all. Like, Ancient Power was a pretty solid feeling card in the right decks. And this guy can chain that potentially.
All right, this was a preview card. I know that. That's Marcelo the Younger, 4 power, 0 armor, creature dinosaur. After fight, after reap, you may exalt Marcelo the Younger. If you do, draw 2 cards.
Why did they take an effect that
Land before time.
wasn't great, is okay, and then made this awful exalt effect on it? To draw 2
Yeah,
cards.
it was. I mean, what's the Logos 1 power dude that lets you draw 2 cards? Was well, he died, but drawing 2 cards didn't.
That's Bibliophile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Babbling
often
Bibliophile.
didn't do the trick.
Draw 2
so
cards.
3 extra power.
Actually, maybe with the fact that it exalts means your opponent goes, yeah, I will actually let you have 2 cards for 1 amber. And you get to use this. And then win, because in any Archon deck, 2 cards is worth more than 1 amber, for sure.
All right, so here's the question, because I had thought about 4 Seer. So 4 Seer as a Logos card, 2 power, play, after reap, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 in your hand, 1 on the top of your deck. Here, 4 power, after fight, after reap. So slower, you may exalt if you do just straight draw.
Yeah, this card stinks in comparison to those effects. Saying the other guy likely gets killed. This might actually just get left because your opponent's like, well, at least I get an amber out of him drawing.
But the other one has the play effect. You're gaining at least.
Well, I know. It is 100% better card.
Yeah. All right. Did we do Paleogene Society?
No, I don't know this one.
All right. Amber Pip, Paleogene Society, action, play. Return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Purge Paleogene Society. Fate, ward each enemy creature.
Okay, the fact that this doesn't say return a card from your discard pile and play it makes this probably not that strong, because you can only
from Saurian.
Replay Saurian cards or you're telegraphing, which is okay, right? Like, telegraphing isn't necessarily bad. We know that because we were doing that in GR constantly by choosing what we were archiving from our discard. But the fact that you don't get to play this card and you have to purge it, you don't get to play the card you picked and you have to purge it, it's...
Well, I think it depends on how good Saurian's going to be, right? Like, if Saurian's good, this card's good.
Okay,
Saurian's
well, let's talk about the fate effect
good.
then, because that's how we're going to use this.
Ward each enemy creature?
I mean, warding your whole board is okay.
Yeah, well, it's good.
That's a decent fate effect.
Good. Yeah, it's got options. I like it.
I'm still up for being able to search for cards, so I think that it was used in Untamed very well, and I like to be able to pull a card that I want, so I'm happy with it.
Really? I've not been super happy with most of the Untamed pick cards.
It's different style, so. Placinia, Hidden Agent, 3 power, dinosaur assassin creature, destroyed.
Pink.
Destroy each Placinia hidden agent's neighbors, and then Fate puts Placinia Secret Agent into play under your control.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa Welcome Bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
No, thank you. Pass,
so
pass,
weird.
and more pass.
Yeah, you're actually forced to play it as a fate. No, but if you don't play it as a fate,
it's real bad. It's real bad.
So, There you
I mean,
go.
sometimes you want to kill your own dudes, but it's
This
weird.
is placenta. This is awful. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Plus,
What the health benefits?
all right. Sedimentary nap. Amber Pip, action, play,
That's what Sheep's doing right now.
shuffle a creature into its owner's deck. Or fate, shuffle the most powerful creature into its owner's deck.
This is a common. Shuffle a creature. It's better, way better as a play effect.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well not even have this fate effect. The only reason this fate effect even is a thing is, like, you can be like, on a turn where you're like, I don't want the soaring card in my hand anymore. But this is bounce, right? Which gets around destroyed effects. It has an Amber Pip on it. This card is fine.
And I guess I am assuming, boys, that if we play the action, we're getting the Amber Pip. But if it is played as a fate card, when it's revealed, there's no
Pippy
Amber
Paps.
Pip. Yeah.
No. Oh, wouldn't that be awful if they got the pips?
It hasn't been clarified that I'm aware, but maybe that's something we should definitely put a little asterisk by. I assume
I don't
that
think
they are
that's
not
what it
getting
is.
Amber.
Well, it says
Help if we
depending
read
on
the
which
rules.
version, resolve the fate effect, right? Is what?
Yeah, and the fate effect means not the pips, because you're not playing the card and you get pips on play.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
too
we
low.
talked about too low.
Okay. Then on to some shadows. Brutal consequences.
I like that art.
All right. It is. Look pretty sweet. Nice
Really?
smash there. Yeah.
It's a guy being smushed. It's fun.
Whooshed. Play. So it's an action. Play. Deal 3 to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, purge it. Fate. Purge an exhausted friendly creature.
It's not a bad... I mean, like, what was the Coda card that was purge 3 power creatures?
Oh, the artifact that you
No,
kill
no.
something on the flank.
No, just...
No.
There's just a Coda card that says purge a 3 power
Begins with
or
an
less
O.
creature. Anyways.
Oubliette.
Yeah. This is sort of better than Oubliette because if you already have damage on a bigger creature, you can purge it.
Sure. This is also one of those fates that you don't want to trigger at the beginning of the turn.
But this doesn't, right? This one isn't
exhausted.
termed in a way that prevents destroyed effects, is it? Because this destroys it,
It doesn't
and that's
purge
when
it instead.
Yeah, that's like destroys means it's like when it enters the discard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Purge an exhausted friendly creature.
Depending on what fate you have, this could do nothing.
Yep. Well, depending on when they trigger it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, like, this needs an Amber Pip for me to be interested in it, but it's a card.
Shall we go to the next one? Chummy. We've been very chummy. Creature, 3 power elf. Before fight, technically we can't see if it has any armor from the cutoff, but we don't know yet. Before fight, if the creature Chummy fights is the least powerful enemy creature, steal 1. Fate, pay your opponent 2 amber.
No. Pay is cool.
Yeah, pay is good.
Circumvents anti-steal.
So it's good for that.
This is a fate effect. You're going to play this as a fate effect 100% of the time.
Yep.
Because the creature doesn't
Unless
have
your
skirmish.
prophecies
So
Unless your prophecies are full.
yeah, well,
Sure, but what do you want to do with it? Yeah.
but again, looking at the cards, and I mean, we haven't seen if there's a lot of common fate-based cards, but right now, based off the number of cards we're seeing, there isn't that many. I just don't feel like you're just not gonna be like, oh, I have a plethora of them.
Yeah, we're not.
And if
actually
you
seeing a lot
do,
of
then
common.
it becomes slightly more interesting.
All right. Cursed Loot. Artifact, Amber Pip. Item, Treachery. After you play a card, discard a random card from your hand. If you have no cards in your hand, destroy Cursed Loot.
So you know how Z always hated Mindfire?
Yeah.
I would just enjoy playing this on Z.
It's interesting because it's like, I guess it's not like if you have a 3/3 hand, you're definitely not guaranteed to get rid of this because you might just have to, after you play your first one, you got a fair chance
might
of
hit one of-
discarding the same house. This could be hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. This card, this card is probably really strong.
Because like you're breaking combos, right? You're making your opponent afraid to do stuff, right?
Yeah, like they have to be very thoughtful of the first card they play because they might not play the second card.
Mm-hmm.
This card's really strong.
Yeah, notice it says play a card, so that could be creature or action or artifact. Like you have, or upgrade. Like there's a lot that's all being played.
Now, there is the choice. Well, there is the choice if you have 6. I mean, like if they have 6 of a house, then they're guaranteed to clear out. Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there are other ways, but discarding cards prevents the thing. But if you could discard your whole hand, you could play your whole hand anyways. So, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that card seems really strong.
Yep, I agree.
Evasive maneuvers.
We saw this.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
The next couple, I think we're over at Thunk.
And it's a really bad card, so we don't want to talk about it.
Thunk. 2-power creature, thief, elf, play, deal 2 to an enemy creature and exhaust it. Fate, destroy each exhausted creature.
Well, that's always getting played. Next.
Yeah, I mean that fate is too random, right?
It depends when it's going to be triggering.
It depends on
unless you have a fate that's like guaranteed to trigger right before ready.
Yeah.
Well, but it could also be here's on fighting or like there. It depends on
hard to
and you ready before draw phase, so like
you don't have control over it.
Yeah.
All right, Skyborn we've seen into Star Alliance. So the next one I think is where you like it, and that is Cosmic Recompense. Action, play, deal 3 to an enemy creature. If it is not destroyed, steal 1, period. Repeat the preceding effect. Fate, end your turn.
This is another really strong, like, it's the same thing as we were talking about with the discard your hand. It's a turn skip card. That's a very strong fate. It's even
crazy.
a decent effect.
Well, ending your turn means that you are not ready. You're not drawing cards. You're not doing anything. Like, that is massive.
Okay, you
just cry.
Can you trigger 2 fate effects in one turn?
Well, no, because it's as soon as the first fate would trigger.
That's not what my question was.
Sorry, as soon as the first prophecy. Are you asking can 2 prophecies
Can 2 prophecies be triggered in the same turn? Like, if you have the 2 action ones and the fight one, they both can be triggered in the same turn, right?
Well, sir, yeah, you do.
I assume that depending on what's there.
There is
you do the one where they... Go ahead, Chief.
There is a potential setup where the first prophecy they trigger has to discard your hand, and somehow they trigger the second prophecy, which is end your turn, and it's a double turn skip.
We do the forge a key one, so they have they forge a key, and they dump their hand, and then they have to choose a house
that they have nothing on board of.
Nothing on board, and they end their turn, and then they cry.
Yes. Or same number of creatures is also a decent.
Yeah, 0. Yep.
I feel we've seen Deleter.
Yeah, we've seen Deleter.
Yeah, that's return 2 enemy creatures, which is good.
Which means we don't talk about it.
Ensign Clark?
I don't remember Clark.
All right, 3 power, human, 0 armor, enhanced with an amber pip and a capture pip.
Feels like it could be somebody's Urk card. But who knows?
Somebody was like, I want a picture of me grabbing somebody's nose.
Totem pole, you're exploring, something's in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, further.
Yeah.
Well, the destroy from the artifact you get to choose, I guess.
You get to choose your own artifact to destroy.
Yeah.
At least this comes with some enhanced pips, but this is not a great card any which way. Yeah. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is R. So it is R. So if you had 2 or 3 of them in a deck, you're getting the enhancement pips, which is okay, and you could be very abusive to their artifacts.
Do you know how we've gone around with enhancements? It's been very interesting just looking back at
it's not enough, right?
I know it's not enough anymore, but when we first saw them, it was like, man, just the value from getting an amber pip and a capture pip. So It really shows the progression of what the enhancements are bringing. Shall we go to further investigations? Further investigations, action with Amber Pip. Play, destroy any number of friendly creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, archive a card.
I didn't read the flavor text. Fascinating. Simply fast. Final transmission from Science Officer Tartar. That's good.
So, like, I don't know. I don't know. This is also only from your hand.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
I don't know how I feel. I like this better in a token set, I think. I don't know if I care for this card that much.
I guess
it would be fun with thralls.
But then again, like, I almost always take my opportunities to kill Smoko and archive a card that way, so certainly possible.
This feels like combo fodder. Like, there's going to be something interesting with this, but...
There's too much archive hate now, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Precision Striker, 2 power, creature robot, 0 armor. After reap, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Put 1 of the discarded cards in the bottom of your opponent's deck.
So you filter them to their trash.
That's the trash. Yeah.
Too slow.
But it's at 2 power after reap, so...
Yeah, it's slow.
Yeah,
right. It's going to be real slow. And that's in your comment slot there, so that's a little sad.
And actually, like... I see people playing this wrong where they just keep putting the crappy creatures on the bottom of the same house, potentially 2, and then they end up giving their opponent the ability to outboard them. Like, you gotta be careful when you're doing that. Like, it's much better to make messy than to...
Yeah, archives.
Color streak, or even creature streak, because, like, if you don't have the C, you're gonna make trouble.
I feel like this is trying to target some of the GR, but it's not on play, and so the after reap is just too slow.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we gotta talk about refit?
Yeah, refits. Amber Pip, action, play. You may move an upgrade in play to another creature. Fate, destroy an upgrade attached to a friendly creature.
This is a common.
Yeah,
this is a bad card.
This is very sad. Because
that's a really sad common.
Because upgrade as a Fate, you may not be playing upgrades. I don't see them at all.
Like, the Amber Pip is the most appealing thing about this card. So let's go on.
More Amber Pips. All right, sample 42C. Artifacts, Amber Pip. Experiment, action. Move 1 Amber from your opponent's pool to sample 42C. If there are 4 Amber or more on sample 42C, purge it and forge a key at no cost. I think we've seen this before.
Yeah, we talked about this as redacted. Yeah.
I don't think I was here for this one.
Yeah, I don't remember that one at all. But Fate, the most powerful enemy creature, captures half of your Amber.
Well, screw that. This is way better as action.
Yeah.
Think about this with a house enhancement. Where you do it in Forge.
House enhancement. But there's not going to be, unless there's Legacy.
There might be house enhancements in this set. You never know yet.
Yeah, that's not there. All right. Untamed. Consult the Bones? Or are we going to is technically Chunk Evermore?
We talked about Chunk.
All right, Consult the Bones. As we're at action, play, discard the top card of each player's deck. For each card discarded this way, resolve its bonus icons as if you had played it.
As a common? Blarf.
Yep.
Blarf.
If you are facing me, we're just going to flip over cards and it won't.
And I'll win the game because it's going to be better for me.
Yeah.
That's a Blarf card. Like, oh my gosh. Think about having multiple copies of that dumpster.
That needed to have Amber Pip, like enhancement pips on
needed
enhancement
to not get created.
I'm okay with that too. Shall we go into?
I like the Willow reference from the flavor test. The bones tell me nothing. Anywho.
Crystalline Harvest. Action with an Amber Pip. Play for the remainder of the turn. Gain 1 Amber each time you play an action card.
We've had this
Fate.
junk.
For the remainder of the turn, lose 1 Amber each time you play an action card.
Okay, this is garbage. Next.
What?
This is science all over again, which was a bad card in a house that could draw like mad.
No,
yeah, I was
think that
like
you can
tricked
gain
on
mass.
science last time. I thought it was going to be good because I didn't do the math. I was excited, and then as soon as I started playing it, I was like, "Oh wait,
this card is
actually
bad."
sucks."
Yeah, and the lose one for each half the time they have. I mean, like that's a mediocre effect at best. The fate effect.
Yeah.
All right, it is uncommon. I had to click on it to be able to open up, but I don't know.
All right, you can have copies of this card.
I feel that you can have Amber Burst with that, and
but you had it science, and science didn't do it, and Logos drew more cards to keep playing cards. This is Untamed. It's all creatures and garbage.
Creatures and garbage.
well, from
you should
what
just
is
start
in
calling
here,
Untamed that now. Like I call creatures and garbage.
from what is shown here, it is not looking very good. I can agree with that, but.
You don't have that. You don't have the F to make this worth more than a couple extra amber, which is not that good of a card.
Yeah.
I think you're underselling it. All right, Envious Venomite.
I think you're high.
I'm a sheep on this.
I'm not high. 4 power, 0 armor, creature, beast, skirmish. While your opponent has more amber than you, Envious Venomite gains poison. Fates for the rest of the turn. Each enemy creature gains poison.
Vomit. Next.
Lambent Mycelium. 2 power creature fungus. After another creature enters play, put 2 +1 power counters on Lambent Mycelium. Fate. Until the end of your turn, the most powerful enemy creature gains taunt.
Oh my god. That may be the worst fate card we've seen.
Did I put... I hope I didn't put Untamed as my...
Oh, God. Like, you could have a real fat tree. Like, this tree could get real fat. And this is another card. Like, and there was something else or maybe we talked about this one. There was another card in the set that gained power like mad. If they print the draw cards with Waste Knots in the set, maybe we got something going on. No Waste Knot.
We don't, and I don't see it here, so I don't know. And then the last card that was shown here, Lithomancy, Artifact, Power, Action, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card belongs to the active house, discard it and gain 2.
Well, at least they fixed the crappy Logos card that maybe played it. This is fine. Like, this sounds good to me. Yeah. I would be happy to trigger this. I also think this could almost afford to be an Omni. The fact that it's an action means you're only calling it on untamed turns, and then it's a low chance it's an untamed card. Not that thrilled.
And then Prince Bufo, they did change, if I'm correct, right? 1 power, 0 armor, creature beast, enhanced with Amber Pip and a draw pip. Fate, your opponent gains 4.
It used to be Forge a Key at current cost or something, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's still the coolest because he's Prince Bufo.
But it is silly that this one has Fate gain 4, and then there's that other one that's Fate gain 3, and what's the justification?
This has Enhance.
That was this.
Yeah.
And that other one does absolutely nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you shouldn't have is correct.
All right. Well,
man, I'm sort of wishing. I know I did this in Logos. I think I did Untamed for my. Maybe I should have done based on this. What should I have done instead? Star Alliance? I don't know. I don't know about Star Alliance.
Shadows? You got
maybe
Urchin, Miasma, Borrow.
Yeah, maybe I should have
The
done
Curse
Shadows.
Loot, maybe?
Yeah, it's a rare though, so
I know,
yes,
and that's
but it's a rare. Yeah, I don't know. No.
Maybe Star Alliance, but
Probably not Untamed. That was probably a mistake.
I do think that
It's not going to be worse.
Logos and Dis are really strong.
Yeah, it's not going to be worse than my last name deck, the Kills Brio deck, which definitely does not kill Brio or anything else. It's really, really bad. Like, I guess that's what I get after getting some pretty solid GR decks. Slow Walk Slow is pretty good. But yeah, Kills Brio is very bad. All right.
Well, that's it.
So I think that's it, guys. Right? What does what does the Wookiee say when he wraps the podcast? He's like, "We did the thing! Yay!" Do the outro. Happy Fortune, everyone.
May the Forge be with you.
Da-da-da.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
Cheap grumble.
Ah!
All right. We're closing it there.
I'm hanging this up.
Good job, gentlemen.
Shaking like a dog shitting razor blades. Waking up next to nothing after dreaming of you and me. Waking up all alone. Waking up so relieved while you're taking your time with apology.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.